And welcome back in along here this evening with Kevin Kennedy, and I'm learning, Kevin is answering your questions, your legal questions this evening. And I tell you what, right before the break, I become a student, a total student each time that Kevin is on. I learn a lot about the law, and I know you do as well. Kevin, you're helping so many people with your advice, professional advice you deliver throughout the hour. We've got a lot of folks on the line with us. And Kevin, before we get back to the lines, one of the things that we've often talked about over the years that you've been here, I think that's really important. It's knowledge is power, and that goes a long way.
Say it. You can quote it. Knowledge is power. So we should have a lifelong learning habit. Read, listen, inquire, evaluate, discuss. I think the Kennedy Law Firm is always have a whole bunch, and they say, Kevin, you know more than all those. Why do you come in and discuss with a young lawyer or a paralegal? Different perspective, and as those issues come, it triggers your mind. Hey, that's a great idea. One of the puzzles that's happened to me is when I have a problem, why didn't I think of that right off the bat? There's a process that we discuss it, and then ideas are identified with issues, and then we solve problems. So I love to talk, I love to share, I love to think and evaluate. And usually answers.
Absolutely. I would say, 10 times out of 10, it seems like when you're here, Kevin. All right, so we're going right back to the lines. If you are just tuning in, this is Ask an Attorney. This is one of our most popular shows that we have. You can get that legal advice that is so needed by so many. The number is 377-587. Let's head back to the lines, though, right now. Wendell is on the line with us. Wendell, we're glad that you have tuned in this evening. Do you have a question or a comment for Kevin? You with us, Wendell?
Yes, sir. How are you?
We're doing great. So how are you?
Doing all right.
All right. What's your question?
I was wondering, what does a person got to do to get their gun rights back?
Okay. Well, what you're going to have to do and have them restored. Now, if you're a convicted felon, you'd probably have to attack that felony conviction. See if it is one, there's many laws right now that you can expunge. There's some exceptions. Every time the legislature meets, bills that become law. So I would try to see, what is your record? What is the reason that they won't allow you to have a gun permit? And then let's have to attack that. And there are several.
All right. Thank you so much, Wendell. Thank you for calling in this evening. Right back to the lines. Frank is on the line with us this evening. What's your question for Kevin? Can you hear us, Frank?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
I got a question. Lifetime estate on a piece of property. My mother, she got behind the land taxes. The guy to offer, pay land taxes, give me a lifetime estate. My question is, if he gets behind in the land taxes, will I have to leave? I mean, will I be evicted or whatever?
Yeah, I understand exactly, and I've got the answer for you. A lifetime estate, you still have the responsibility to maintain the property and pay those taxes to keep that restored. If you don't, the county in which that property exists normally has like 2 years. If you don't pay, then they put the property up for sale and it's auctioned to the high bidder. Now, in Tennessee, you have a 1-year right of redemption at a tax sale. So what that really means, if you didn't have the money, well, they could sell it to this third-party purchaser, but within the year, you could come up with the money, pay the taxes, but if they buy it, that extinguishes your lifetime estate. So remember this, if we have a home, we have to maintain, we have to pay the taxes, and it's yours. If you ever want to get out, you can sell right, and it's considered, could be consideration. You could take monetary value and settle that. That way you could give free and clear title to someone. Thank you, Frank, for the question.
All right, good information to know. All right, as we go right back to the lines right now, and again, we are glad that you are calling in. If you do have that question, make sure you get on the line with us as soon as possible. Tony is up. Tony, do you have a question for Kevin?
I do. Thank you for letting me get on the phone, and thank you, Mr. Kennedy. You're a grace and a God-sent person, and I know it.
Thank you.
The thing about it is, I'm a veteran, and in the service, and they had got somebody filed Wolf versus Wilkie, but the VA is supposed to reimburse you for all medical claims. And the federal judge, federal courts rules, and the guy, I got the letter in the mail, but I haven't been able to get no recourse from the VA. But they send me bills, lawsuit for a car accident, and they saying if you got other insurance, then there'll be other insurance. But I don't have no other insurance. I'm on disability. So I haven't been able to get no response on the phone, at the VA office, patient advocate, nowhere. They give me the wrong number and run around the riffraff. I'm trying to get that money back. I don't know if I should go back to the lawyer to help me with the case, which he did a half job, or just call it a wash.
Tony, what really happens is they have a right of subrogation, and what you're saying gets down to a government bureaucracy, and you say, hey, this is not right. The VA should take care of this, and they haven't. So you call and you get an answer machine. They tell you call this number and you don't get a response. Well, that's why we have congressmen when it's completely out of control. Everybody has supervisors, and so you may have to write. But I'll tell you, if you've ever heard of a congressional investigation, when your congressman gets involved and said, this is not right, this is that has not been treated fairly, and he's really been abused by this, I want you to look at, guess what? I bet you people start pulling files. You just have to get to the right person. And there is no way, if you give up, it's over. They won't pursue it. And, you know, we see cases that go on and on because you can't get anything. And perhaps you even have to start putting things in writing, Tony. You can say, as you know, I only assume that this is the monies that are owed, so please clear this. So you're trying to box them in, writing to them, because you've got your document somewhere, it'll get to somebody, and they'll say, wait a minute, too much documentation, let's settle this. Keep pursuing it, Tony, and thank you for your service. I can't say it enough. I love those that put their life on the line. We owe you.
All right, thanks so much for calling in this evening, Tony. All right, we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we will get to as many questions as is there on your screen. If you have one of those legal questions, 737-7587. You're watching Open Line.